Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a video to showcase my entire handbag collection. This collection includes some of my more recent purchase, which is of a more high-end luxury brands, as well as my previous sort of purchases and gifts from others that are not of as a high-end luxury brands. I just wanted to do this video to really showcase how I approach buying luxury items. I really consider myself as trying my best to avoid temptations, avoiding trends, buying into trends that wouldn't work for me, and really buying anything that doesn't really serve a purpose and a role in my life. I do find it quite wasteful to keep on buying one thing after another to just to satisfy that itch and that urge of buying new items. I've kind of been through that phase when I was much younger, not with these expensive items, but more like with collectible cards and toys and sort of little sort of decorations, and each time when I do a big clean out as I moved on from that hobby, it just feels so wasteful. So because I know my personality, I know myself much better now, that I am prone to, when I really get into something, I am really prone to just like to collect them all. So I'm really trying my best to rein myself in, particularly with this new new hobby of buying into more luxurious items and brands. So without much further ado, I will introduce each of my items, probably from my oldest item to my newest item. Now, I do want to say that this collection only includes handbags. It doesn't include my SLGs, which I will make another video of my SLGs again. I don't actually have a lot when it comes to SLGs in comparison to perhaps what other luxury buyers have, and that's because again I'm really trying to practice more of a mindful consumption, so only buying things that I would know that I will be using for a very long time and that actually adds a purpose to my life. So first item I have here that is the oldest. Can you guess which one it is? You can probably guess by the style of the kind of bag. It's a hobo, although I know the bigger bag trend is back, but you can probably tell that this is more dated out of everything else I have here. So this is actually the first more of a luxury higher quality handbag that I purchased not long since I've commenced a full-time job. So this is from the brand Bali. I think it's a Switzerland brand. It's a full leather. As you can see, I've actually made used it well. You can see the piping along the bottom of the leather is, there's lots of scruff marks here. The belt sort of strap this loop here again, it's a lot of scruff marks, and also here where just the natural folding of the bag, you can see is also quite a lot of scruffs there. So really, this is not, this is not a bag that I would get much back if I was to resell it, because it is quite well loved, and it's, Bali, I don't think it's a brand that too many people are interested in. Yeah, so you can see lots of wear and tear. I did make quite good use of this bag, but because it's my first kind of handbag that I've purchased using my own hard-earned money, I really didn't want to part with it. So it's quite a big compartment, just one single big compartment. Oh no, there's an inner, oops, I've still got other things in there. There's an inner compartment there. The bag is just lined with fabric, but yeah, as you can see, one big hole here, does fit a lot in. I did use it for travel quite a bit when I was still using this bag, but I have to say I probably haven't been using this bag for a good 10 years now. I've just been keeping it in my cupboard, really. I don't know what it's doing in my cupboard, except that, yeah, I think it's still usable, so I didn't want to just throw it away. But at the same time, I think it's so loved and so used and worn that I really don't think anyone would be interested in buying this, particularly when the brand itself is not one of those really popular high-end luxury brand. I might actually take it out and use it again at some point in time, particularly if the style hobo bag is back out again. Look, I have to say probably the proportion, now that I know and getting more interested in styling and finding my own proportions and things that fits my frame, I have to say, if I was to buy another sort of hobo style bag, I'll probably get one that is just a tad bit smaller. Yeah, it's the other downside to this bag is I've really gotten used to having a crossbody option, so the shoulder option at the moment in my life, when I still have a young little one that I'm chasing around, and really need my both hands and shoulders free. I probably that's another reason why I haven't really gotten much use out of it nowadays. I'll just put this back there. So that's my first handbag. So moving on to the next purchase was this Semrev bag, which I have done a review on in my other videos. If you are interested, please go take a look. I'll put the link up there in the corner. So this is a work bag. Now Semrev is not like a high-end popular luxury, but it has actually been quite a popular brand in terms of those who are looking for more of a multifunctional quality leather bag, that is a little bit more luxurious looking without the price tag. Now this bag I got a few years ago as my work bag. I've been using mainly tote bags for my work bags, which I no longer have that bag in. It was a Longchamp tote that I was gifted by my mum, but because it was so worn out and the corners were all torn, so that went to the bin. And this is a replacement bag that I bought that I bought from Samref. I won't go much into the details of this bag because there's other videos in my channel that you can refer to. So it's a very look, I have to say the compartments and everything like that, it's really practical and functional as a work bag. But the reason why I've actually not using this as much now is it's because of the weight. It's really, I think the weight is such a disadvantage of this bag. Like when it's a work bag, I do carry a lot more for work purposes when I commute to work than I do need for my daily bag. And so now I know I would not make the same mistakes again, that my work bag is a full leather bag. It just is so heavy, like even without anything in it, I find this quite heavy. Even without anything in it, I wouldn't want to carry this around the whole day. So now I know I will not make the same mistake. What do I do with this bag nowadays? Look, I do still use it for work, especially if I drive to work on those days, then I can switch into this bag. But yeah, look, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I was to resell it, maybe I will get a fraction of the price again. I've used it quite a lot, that there's certainly lots of signs of wear and tear. I don't baby my bags, but at the same time, I wouldn't think I am such a rough bag user, to be honest. So I think this all comes down to how much weight there is in the bag, that overall, when the bag is so heavy, it makes it incredibly difficult to try to unbuckle things, and I just get frustrated, and have to just sometimes use a bit of force and a bit of impatience and yank things out. And that's perhaps why I haven't really looked after this bag as well as I could have. Like, that's another thing about myself, is when I don't love the item, I don't really cherish it, and I get a bit rough with the items, and especially when I get frustrated with how some items don't work for me in a functional sense, and that's when I get a bit rough. Could I use it for non-work and every day when I don't carry a lot? Well, then I don't really want to carry such a big bag. This is the other bag that I purchased after that Samref bag. I believe I purchased this on Farfetch when it was on discount. This is one of my everyday bag. As you can see, I've learned my lesson. I wanted something light, so this is in nylon, and then it's got a crossbody strap, quite a thick size crossbody strap, so that it will look after my shoulders. I've used it quite a lot. It's been well loved, and now one of the things that I after using this for, I think it must have been at least 2 or 3 years, I decided to change to a different everyday bag. One of the main reasons is exactly what you've probably noticed, the buckle. The buckle, I just found this so annoying. Whenever I take my handbag down, because it's quite heavy, this metallic buckle, it will just drop, or it will just fling to hit other items. Not just this buckle, but also the claps here. They're all quite they're all very heavy. And when it drops down onto the floor at home, when I come back down home, like, it's just all these clinky and clanky it just really annoys the heck out of me. The other thing that was annoying is the way the straps in the buckle, no matter how many times I readjust it and try to, straighten it up, just over time with the weight of whatever you put into the bag, over time, it will just lengthen itself. I think it's the design of the nylon straps with the metallic buckle. It just doesn't hold the length at its, at where you've set it at the beginning of the day. So no matter how I adjust it, because of the weight of the buckle and whatever items I put into the actual bag, by the end of the day, it will just gradually lengthen itself until it's kind of, down at the bottom, and it really then just makes it an extremely long crossbody bag. I don't have a very long torso, just falls at a very unflattering, awkward place where it just makes me look very messy and sloppy. So that's why I kind of, even though I find this bag, it's quite practical in terms of how much you can put into it. It's got different, compartments. It's got 2 separate compartments, with an inner pocket. The zipper is very smooth and easy to zip up. Actually zips opposite ways. Yeah, look. There it goes again. It just keeps on falling and making that loud noise. That's why I don't, I've kind of moved away from this bag as soon as I find a different alternative that I enjoy a lot more. There's a bit of wear and tear in the stitching. It's coming off. So yeah, look, I mean, it's not a major problem, I think, because this is not functional anyway. It's just the branding. I've used it. It served a purpose for a good 2-3 years. I no longer have love for it, and it just annoys me every single time I wear it with this big buckle that just keeps on falling and making a huge sound. And I kid you not, I was hanging this bag on my coat hanger in the hallway, and the coat hanger, it fell over. I can't remember why. Maybe my son was hitting a ball against it or something like that, and I kid you not, this fell with the coat hanger, and this buckle dented my wall in the house. Yes, this is quite destructive. You can hit someone with this buckle, and it can easily become quite a dangerous weapon, I think. My functional collection really comes down to only these 4. So perhaps from a handbag collection perspective, you can actually say I'm a minimalist, although I think that situation will change. I am only starting to get into luxury items. Yep, so this next item is still in my everyday usage as a work bag when I commute to work. This is a Longchamp tote bag that my mum purchased and gifted me as a gift from the airport. I really do find this the most practical work bag, although if I was to change, the only thing I will change is the color, because I find this color a bit too dark for summer and springtime. So I might look at purchasing a similar bag but in a different color that is more gives me a more cheerful vibe for spring and summer. So guys probably have already known or own one of these. It's a very simple tote bag in nylon, so it's water proof, and with one single inner pocket there for card or travel card or whatever small items you want to put. So with a very smooth silver hardware zipper. Very lightweight, which is what is great as a work bag when you need to commute, and great quality. Now that I know you can actually get these corners repaired, I probably do need to look at doing that. As you can see here, this corner is actually torn now, and it's got a tiny little hole in there, which would need repairing, but again, I don't know, I've never done it before, so I don't know how to get that done in Sydney. If any of you watching knows about how to get it done, please leave the comment down below. I don't have the original receipts anymore, and I don't think my mum gave it to me, and I don't think she would have kept it. So yeah, now next bag that to talk about is one that I've unboxed on this channel. It's one I've purchased maybe just under a year ago. It's a Celine Triumph classic bag in canvas. So this is my first ever luxury high-end item, which I use as an everyday bag, which I do love using as a crossbody. It's a very easy bag to carry around. It's not too formal, but at the same time it sort of adds to your outfit. Now, yeah, so far I've been quite happy with the quality. I do need to give it probably a good clean though. I've been using this bag that there is some discoloration now to the leather where the strap is attached. I think it might be because, I don't know, maybe just some dirt or some oil, I don't know. I'll see whether I can clean it with my leather cleaner. But yeah, no, so far still quite happy with this bag. It's quite comfortable to carry, and the weight is acceptable. Now the next bag I've purchased, again, is something that I've already unboxed on my channel. It's a Ferragamo backpack, I think it's called a Gancini backpack. Now I've explained in my unboxing video the reason why I have found a need for this luxury item to be added to my handbag collection, and that's because it can function as a backpack, and unlike the Sam Rev backpack, this is extremely lightweight despite it being in leather. I think it's because the leather type is a lot softer, and obviously the smart size is a lot smaller, which is enough for my everyday essentials. And the other good thing about this backpack is you can just lengthen the strap this way, and then it becomes a crossbody bag. So multi-function, although I have to say I just use it mainly as a backpack. From a practical point, it's great when I am just running, doing some running around after my son in a scooter or a bike, when I am not expecting myself to needing to access the phone or other items from the bag. Really loving this bag, and very much add a purpose to my collection. Now the last bag I have is this Marc Jacobs tote bag, which is in a beautiful it's actually a teal color. It perhaps is not showing very well on the camera. It looks more blue than it is. So it's a teal, green, blue type of bag. It's handy. It's not very heavyweight, and I like that it's got a cross body strap that you can use, or you can use a handheld like this as well and just hide the straps inside. I have another unboxing video which unboxes this, which I will show on the screen. So this is my rainy day bag. The reason why I purchased this, oops, I've got a piece of popcorn, is so that I don't have to carry my much more expensive Celine handbag when it's a rainy day, and as well as the size of this bag, this tote bag makes it so that I can actually put my small umbrella inside as well for rainy day. So as you can see, I've actually learned my lesson about using one of these with my handbags, so that I intend to use for a long time. So I've purchased this on Etsy, actually, just the Etsy store actually sells these that is specific to the Marc Jacob tote, and inside, yeah, it's got the little pocket here, which I find quite useful, which when I used it with the insert, it doesn't really matter because there's enough compartments in the inserts. Yeah, so this is it. That's my whole luxury handbag, including not so luxury handbag collection. I've only got 7 handbags, but to be honest, what I use on a day-to-day is really only these 4. They are all sort of a more 3 of them, well, actually only 2 of them is more of a more higher luxury. And now would I be adding to my handbag collection? I think that would be a definite yes. Would I be doing it in a rush? That would be a no, because trying to buy only things that I know will work in my collection, or try new things that I haven't ever tried, in the hopes that it will work in my collection, but using a few sort of ticking checklists that I know will definitely, to exclude ones that I know definitely won't work, and for me that would be the weight of the bag, things that would suit my lifestyle. I think what I'm missing here is an evening bag, which I'm not really needed to go to any sort of events, and I doubt I would need to go to any events in the foreseeable future for at least the next maybe 8-10 years. So I'm not really in a rush to get those items that really I have no need of at the moment. So that's it from me today. Let me know what you think. Leave comments down below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you do like these videos, and I might do next video on my SLGs, which again is a small collection, but I think sometimes it's not just big collections that are interesting. I think it's actually very interesting to see small collections as well, because that really gives you a sense of how to curate your own collection that would work for you. So until next time, bye. Thank you very much for watching.